So, since last time I've spoken to you, gone through a lot of things, probably you too. Gone through Halloween, Christmas, I've had an anniversary, a couple of birthdays, including my own, and it all goes to remind me that I'm a lot closer to the big 5-0 than I am to the 4-0. Being diabetic, I decided, well, I want to make my wife suffer a few extra years of having me around. So, jogging. A lot of jogging. Trying to get healthier. I'm more than a little bit out of shape. Usually the only reason I run is because a big dog is chasing me or I missed an ice cream truck. I don't see an ice cream truck out here. I'd really like an ice cream truck. I've mentioned I was diabetic. Did I tell you I was asthmatic too? I am out of shape, so we're doing baby steps. Run a little, walk a lot. But you know, baby steps. We'll get there. I said baby steps, right? Baby steps. Coming over for game night tonight. I'm going to do my riff on elotes. Elotes is a Mexican street corn. It's usually done right on the cob. They grill it, and then they put mayonnaise, cotija cheese, and tajin. You can find tajin in just about any grocery store in America. Just look for it in the Latino aisle. I'm going to be stripping it off the cob, not using the cob tonight. We're just gonna make this like a side dish, and we can do a couple other things that you can't do with Mexican street corn that I can do when I do it this way. It's winter, so I'm gonna be using some frozen bagged corn. Again, frozen is good. A lot of times it can be better than fresh, especially in the middle of February, that's for sure. So we got a half of an onion. You want to let the corn set the size for the whole dish, so you don't want giant chunks of onion amongst little tiny corn kernels. And this is all going to go on the same sheet pan with the corn. 5 cloves of garlic. And when you're peeling these cloves this way, you just want to put your hand on the knife and give it a little pressure. Don't come down with your hand like that, because if you slip, you're going to have a really bad day. Especially if you have a good sharp knife like mine. And then your medium-sized jalapeno. We're going to go ahead and take the seeds out of that. I'm going to mince this fairly fine so that we get a little bit of heat all through the corn. This will all go into a metal bowl to get mixed in with the corn and just a touch of olive oil to prevent anything from burning. I've already got 2 bags of frozen corn in my mixing bowl, ready to go. I'm going to add that minced jalapeno. Now the minced jalapeno is an extra bit. You can't do that with street corn, it's hard to make it stick. But we're going to add a little bit of jalapeno in there to kick up a little bit of spice. We've got a half of a medium-sized onion diced up, ready to go in there as well. We're going to use 5 cloves of garlic. And I absolutely love this tool here. It just makes the whole process a lot quicker. We're going to add a drizzle of olive oil. We're just looking to give these a nice thin coat. We're looking to keep it from burning in the oven. You can add a little salt, a little pepper, and that's pretty much it. This is going to go into a roasting hot 500-degree oven, and we're going to leave it go for about 20 minutes or so. We're going to be looking for some browning to happen. We're going to I know we said we use the olive oil to prevent burning, but we do want a little bit of char on the outside edges. Just get that on a sheet pan and spread it as evenly as you can. You can give it a good shake. You want it to be just about one layer thick. And then into a 500-degree oven. After about half an hour, you should be right about here. So you see we're brown the edges really good. The tops were a little bit brown. And this is ready to go to the next step. And feel free to scrape all that flavor off the bottom. Okay, so to finish the corn off, we're going to give it 2 tablespoons of tahini, half cup each of mayonnaise. You can use aioli made from scratch, that's fine. I use Duke's mayonnaise for this recipe. And half a cup of Mexican crema. I'm going to use the juice of half of a lime, and at least a cup of cotija. At least. Give that a good stir around. Make sure everything blends together. Alright, for serving purposes, you can give it a little bit more cotija because, I mean, it's cheese. There's never too much of it. We're going to give it a little bit of that chopped cilantro. And again, this is optional. I know a lot of people don't like it. And then I like to just give it a little bit of sliced limes like so. Okay, so we're going to do some Southwestern turkey burgers tonight. I'm going to start with a pound of ground turkey. Now, ground turkey is super lean, so we're going to have to do some things to make this hold together. And basically, we're going to make like a turkey meatloaf and then turn it into a burger. So I'm going to start with about a tablespoon of chopped cilantro. You can skip this if you don't like cilantro. I know a lot of people don't like cilantro. I'm going to go with about 1/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs, 2 eggs, 1 tablespoon of adobo. You can buy adobo, but you can make it by just doing this. Okay, for my adobo, we have a tablespoon of salt. And this is a fine grind salt. It's maybe a little bit finer than what you would find at the grocery store. You can get coarse ground sea salt, just run it through the blender or grinder. A tablespoon of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of smoked cumin, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon ancho powder. Ancho powder is slightly less hot than chipotle powder. You can use chipotle powder, depends on what your heat level is. 1 teaspoon of regular old chili powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix that all together with a fork, or put it in a shaker and give it a good shake. Once you got mixed, you can put it in a container with a lid. It'll keep for a good couple of months. Okay, so we're just going to get our hands in here, mash those eggs up, and give this a good mixing. If it's looking a little sloppy like it is right here, you can add more breadcrumbs. Not a problem. That's just going to help to bind that turkey together. So all in all, let's use half half cup of breadcrumbs. These are best done cast iron style. So we got cast iron ripping hot. So a good 2 tablespoons of bacon fat. Let that roll around in there and melt. I'm making the patties on the fly as we're cooking them. And we're doing sliders tonight, so feel free to make yours as big or as little as you need.
And that's definitely the sound you want to hear. Once you get them in the pan, let them sit, don't mess with them too much, let them get a good sear.
And you can feel free to use a spoon to measure these, but if you do it long enough, you get consistency.
After a good 3 or 4, maybe 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and flip these. And you can kind of tell by the edges when they're ready to flip. They've got a good color on them because, again, we let them sit, give them their space, and let them get a good sear on them. So once you've got the color you want, just give them a flip. Give them another 2 to 3 minutes on this side, and then we'll pop them into the oven. And finishing them in the oven will allow us to make sure they're completely cooked all the way through, this being turkey, without burning them up. Now to finish them up, you can dress these with salsa or just mayonnaise. I'm using the cotija spread. I made a little extra. We got a little chorizo burger. You can check past videos on how to do the chorizo. There's our turkey burger with a little cheese on top and a little elotes on the side, and we are ready to eat. I don't know if this is good for my diet, but I'm going to eat it anyway. That's it for this episode. Make sure to share, like, subscribe, and check us out on these other platforms too. We'll see you later.